Hi guys, happy week 2. Just a couple of things that I wanted to kind of go over to set you guys up powerfully for this second week of the challenge. So first of all, 2 myth busters, okay? So one of them is a big one, and that myth is that if you eat less or practically don't eat at all, that you're gonna lose weight. That is completely false. Your body is actually gonna do the opposite. So if you think of yourself as like a bear, you're basically going to kind of like a hibernation. Your body does not know when it's going to be fed again, so it just stores whatever you ate last. And it's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to eat again, because you might not eat for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it stores everything instead of breaking down and maybe getting rid of some stuff that it doesn't need and then keeping what it does need. So that is the first thing that is important to know, that you guys should definitely be eating throughout the day multiple times. Don't try to cut back on everything that you eat, thinking that's gonna like help you lose weight. The second myth that I want to bust is going to also be eating really late at night. So a lot of times people think that you're not supposed to eat past like, I don't know, 9 o'clock or something like that. Definitely not any later. And that is also a myth too. Now, I like to tell everybody, think of yourself like as if you were a baby, or if you have a baby, even better. You can understand they need to eat like every 2 to 3 hours, right? So we're like babies, we're just grown up. So you have to continue to feed your body. That is what keeps your metabolism going. So if you get to the end of your day, imagine being like, oh no, sorry baby, no more eating. It's like 8 o'clock at night. Like, you would never do that. So if you've been eating throughout your day, like every 2 to 3 hours, you want to continue to do that until you go to sleep. So if you had your dinner at like, say you have your dinner at 7 o'clock and you're still up by like 10:30, 11 o'clock, you should eat something again. Now these aren't full meals. So the first thing that I want to have you guys kind of take a look at is going to be your day and how often you should be eating. So say you wake up at like 6 o'clock, you should eat breakfast. So that is another thing that I'll kind of touch base on later, that you will, actually I'll touch base on it right now. You will eat more throughout the day if you don't eat breakfast, because your body is starting to be like, oh, I didn't get food, I'm really hungry, I'm really, really hungry. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, I'm starving. And then they tend to eat way more than they would have if they would have just eaten breakfast early on in the day. So say you get up at like 6 o'clock, you're gonna wanna eat your breakfast. From whenever you eat in the morning, I would kind of count every like 3 hours and be eating something. Now, the nutrition plan that I'm on, I have my breakfast, and then from there, I would have a like protein-based snack. From there, I would have my lunch, another protein-based snack, a dinner, and another protein-based snack before I'm going to sleep. So that's just something that I think is like pretty easy to kind of gauge, like, how often you should be eating throughout your day. Now, if you look at your day and then you say like, oh wow, that's like 5 times that I need to be eating. Now comes the question of what you need to be eating. And we kind of cover that in the first email. I'm sorry. So really what I want to cover when surrounding what you should be eating at those times is going to come down to portion control. So we all know, like, if you eat a little bit less, that's better. And if you guys look at your main meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if you have like a regular size plate that you get at a restaurant and then compared it to like a kid size plate, we should actually be eating more so from the kid size plate. So I would go based off of that to kind of decide how much should I be eating in a meal. Now, those in between times, like I said, I would have like a breakfast, a protein based snack, a lunch, or another snack. These aren't like snacks, like some nuts or a piece of fruit or something like that. I actually don't really like to call them snacks. I call them like mini meals. And those should be basically like half the size of your meal, I would say. You can also do this. You can put like your fists together. I can't do it because I'm holding the phone. But if you put your fists together and then you open your hand up and and turn it to the side, that will usually be about the size of your plate or the food that you're eating. Just to give you like a quick little gauge if you're ever like, is this too much food or if this isn't too much food? And I normally like to fit my snacks or my mini meals in like a cup-sized container. So I just wanted you guys to kind of think about that for how often you should be eating and what size amount of food you should be eating. Now, the other thing that I wanted to cover this week was going to be what you guys are like drinking, everything else that you're intaking other than your main meals. So a lot of times when you're like, okay, I'm going to cut back on this or cut back on this, you're not really thinking about everything, and mainly the like hidden calories that are in a lot of drinks. And that is where a lot of calories are hidden, is in drinks and stuff like that. I don't think people, pay that much attention to it. So if you're like grabbing lots of coffee throughout the day, or lots of tea or lemonade, and you're like, that's obviously a better choice than drinking soda every day, right? So I would cut that out. But just be mindful and start to be aware of like what drink you're drinking and maybe how many calories it has in it, because you might be eating a little bit better, but sometimes you're just like, oh yeah, I always grab a lemonade, or oh, I always grab an iced tea or sweet tea or something like that. That's definitely something that I used to do a lot. I would always have a sweet tea and I'd still be like, what's going on? Like, I'm gaining weight. So those are just a couple tips for you guys this week. I hope everybody kind of did their version of like meal prepping. I've had a couple of you send me your pictures. That looks awesome. I'm super excited for you guys. If you have any questions about what to meal prep or what to make, or questions about food, don't forget, like, you can talk to me if you see me at work, but definitely like send me emails. In this email, I'm going to send my phone number so you guys can text me if you need to. Definitely here for you. And again, if anybody needs like direct one-on-one coaching, that is what I do outside of here. So yeah, let me know how everything is going this week. I'll see you guys on Friday for your next weigh-in. Have a good night.